Your exam is coming up very soon and you haven't prepared enough for it. Your essay is due tomorrow and you haven't even started it yet. Does this situation sound very familiar? We've all been through this at some point throughout our college career. However, we tend to get very stressed out, very overwhelmed when we're trying to deal with these situations, and for very good reason too. It's so easy to get overwhelmed given the amount of stress that we're under and the expectations we have to succeed and get that diploma one day. When it comes to medical school especially, the stress gets even higher because you have so many expectations on you to get the good grades, to get into residency, and keep going forward in your career. That too, while balancing your daily life. This is very hard to do, and stress can take over our lives in so many ways. That's why it's very important to learn how to control that stress, to deal with it head on. Instead of running away from it, face it and learn how to conquer it. I distinctly remember the very first final season that I had to face when online learning became a thing. I remember how I was so burnt out, I was so tired, and in order to help myself feel better from all the stress that I felt, I kept going on TikTok, I kept going on YouTube. Instead of doing my assignments, I thought, okay, one more YouTube video, one more TikTok, just one more quick break. What do you think that led to? The break didn't really fix the problem, it just delayed the problem. It shortened the amount of time I had to actually fix the problem. It was a temporary break from reality, but when I came back to the reality that I still hadn't done my assignment, I felt even worse. I felt, dang, I still have to do this. The problem didn't go away. I still have to do the assignment. And I'm sure it's very easy to fall into the trap of just taking a quick break. Taking breaks are definitely very important, but not in the way that you think. It's how you use your break that's very important, and it's how it's going to help you deal with stress. Because I kept taking all these breaks, I ended up burning myself out even more. I ended up feeling overwhelmed, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to during that season. I remember thinking to myself, okay, I could have done way better. Instead of just relying on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, I should have actually utilized the time that I had to deal with my stress more effectively. These are some ways to deal with stress that will leave you not feeling overwhelmed in the end. You'll be able to cope with your stress in a healthier way and get what you need to do done. A lot of the times we rely on these breaks to help us get by because we don't want to face the problem head on. This is something that we're all guilty with in some aspect, including myself. Facing our problems head on is definitely very scary, but when you do it, it's like you sort of break through a wall that was once there. Once you actually face the problem, it feels so much better. You become a stronger person from it. However, you don't see the benefits from it until you come to the other side of it, until you actually break that wall. Right now, your brain is just really hardwired to think of YouTube, TikTok, or whatever else as the way to escape stress. Because we've been doing it for so long, our brain just created this neural pathway that makes us think, oh dang, we're stressed? Time to open up TikTok, time to go on Facebook, time to do whatever. This is an important habit to break as the first step to learning how to deal with stress effectively. This is largely where a lot of self-discipline and accountability comes in. Maybe study with a couple friends who you know you can get stuff done with and give them your phones. Tell them, okay, do not let me go on social media, do not let me do anything to distract myself from my work. This step may seem very trivial, but it helped me quite a bit to not distract myself while I was studying. It helped me actually get my stuff done. I could go on social media or do whatever after I got done. The text messages were still there. All I had to do was stop relying on it while I was studying. Once you sort of break this neural pathway within your brain, which will take a while to do, the next step is replacing these old methods for dealing with stress with newer, healthier ones. And one way that I believe works very well is exercise. And by exercise, I don't mean spend 3 hours at the gym or whatever. You can if you want to, but again, in the short-term moment, you may not have as much time to do that because you have to do your assignment. This method was actually inspired by Healthy Gamer GG in one of his most recent videos, How to Deal with Stress Today. I'll link it in the description below. Our body's natural mechanisms that it uses to help cope with stress are designed for short-term life or death situations. Of course, we've evolved from having to deal with those situations constantly, so now they're not as common. However, our stress relief system still acts in this way when we're feeling stressed out. And so this is why when we have a tough exam coming up, it feels like we're in that life or death situation and our stress mechanisms activate to help us deal with that. However, because we're not actually in the life or death situation, our stress mechanism will not fully activate, so we won't get all of the stress relief from that mechanism that we would normally. So, what does Healthy Gamer GG recommend? He says to literally vigorously exercise for like a minute to about 90 seconds. Just literally run as fast as you can for that time. Just pretend that you need to run as fast as you can to avoid a dangerous situation. Then, once you're done, your body will actually activate the full mechanism and you'll start to feel more endorphins being released and you'll find yourself calming down a lot easier. I actually started to add smaller, more intense workouts throughout my college experience as my classes got harder and more stressful. And I found this actually kind of helping. This is why I believe exercise, and I mean short, intense exercise, can help you quite a bit on a biological basis for dealing with stress. Another mechanism that I believe can help you deal with stress, this is more of the mental aspect. Instead of engaging in instant gratification right now, instead of just going on social media right now, watching that extra YouTube video, save that for later and use it as a reward for you getting your work done. After you get done with your work, give yourself the goal of, okay, after I'm done, I'm going to enjoy my time. I'm going to watch that video after I'm done. I'm going to watch that movie once I'm done. I'm going to get that food item that I want once I'm done. And this is going to be very hard to do as well too, because you're going to want to just give in to your desire and just get it just right there. You're going to want to just get that instant gratification. However, as you're also training your brain to sort of remove these neural pathways regarding going on your phone and everything, you'll notice yourself starting to not give in to that instant gratification as easily. Therefore, it'll be more rewarding once you get your work done and you're able to actually enjoy your time. So, you want to combine this physical aspect with this mental aspect, and that'll help you cope with stress quite a bit. However, there's only so much you can do on your own. This is why the third step is also very important when dealing with stress, especially as a pre-medical student. This third system is turning to your support system when you are unable to lift yourself out of that hole. Whenever you're feeling so down on yourself that it's easy to give in and it's easy to give up. This is why your friends are there to help you out. They're there to remind you of your capabilities and your accomplishments when you're surrounded by those dark thoughts and you're not able to pull yourself out by yourself. Your main goal should be to try to pull yourself out of it, but again, we all need a helping hand sometimes, so your friends can come in handy for that. Don't be afraid to just talk to them for a bit and say, hey, I'm going through a lot right now. I don't know if I can do this. Just have a heart-to-heart convo with them, and then you'll have a fresh mindset for approaching that challenge again. Coping with stress is a very important lifelong skill to have, even outside of academics. Life is full of stressful events, and it's not going to slow down. It's just going to keep throwing those events at you over and over again. That's why it's up to you to a degree to make sure you have the tools to cope with that stress and overcome it. When you finally find yourself overcoming stressors from the past, again, it's like finally breaking through that wall that you were not able to before. You'll become a much stronger person from it, and you'll be better off than before. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.